Okay, fight fans, fight fiends, welcome back to Manny's Thoughts. I, of course, Manny MTL or Manny Montreal. Make sure to check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and obviously, thefightcity.com. As usual, I'll give you guys my thoughts on what's going down in the world of combat sports. Let's get started. Okay, so first off, big weekend of MMA. The UFC had 3 nights, plenty of fights for us to talk about. However, I do want to stick to the main story. Conor McGregor, Mystic Mac, the legend continues. 13 seconds puts away 10 years of Jose Aldo. Fantastic fight. Quick as hell. The world is in shock and awe. Just great stuff for Conor McGregor, I guess. I'm happy for him. The guy's, pretty much asked for everything and said he would get everything. And, well, he's done it. Now, before we do the big celebration for Conor, I do want to point out some stuff, people. Before everyone jumps on this bandwagon, I plead you to relax and before you make this guy some sort of MMA god. And the reason for this is because if we use the fight that happened before his fight, Chris Weidman, Luke Rockhold, as an example, well, you'll get what I'm saying. Chris Weidman was the champ. Oh my God, the All-American champion. He destroyed Anderson Silva. Now, let's examine that properly. In reality, he got a quick knockout to win the belt from Anderson Silva. And then in the rematch, Silva snapped his leg in half against him. And then he had a grinder against Lyoto Machida, who's arguably towards the end of his career. However, the hype train for Chris Weidman grew. And now look what happened to him. He got manhandled by Luke Rockhold. Just 4 awful rounds for Chris Weidman. Did not look like championship material. And everyone's bubble got deflated. Let's take another example. Ronda Rousey. She won her belt in quick fashion, and she even defended her belt in quick fashion all those times. I am not trying to take away from these people. I am simply pointing out that if you live by the gun, you're going to die by the gun. And it would have been a much better outcome for Conor's fight life had he had a few rounds in there with the great Jose Aldo. Overall, if you think about it, 13 seconds does mean that, yeah, we'll probably get a Conor McGregor fight 3-6 months from now easy, because there's no way he's injured. However, it also means that he did all that training for so little rounds, and, it's a vicious path to follow. Mike Tyson was the unbeatable mega god of boxing, and even he got toppled. We got to be careful with building up these icons and heroes, especially when they haven't been in any 5-round championship wars. I still stick to my idea that Georges St. Pierre is by far the greatest martial artist that has ever been. And the reason for that is because not only did he beat his opponents, but he beat them usually at what they were best at. And if not, he nullified what they were best at. Every fight was planned and precise. He had a terrific career, and that was championship stuff. Now, Conor winning in quick fashion, although it's great for the paycheck, it's great for the hype, it's great for the next fight, it's great for several reasons. It's also bad. And people got to realize that if you build these dudes up, especially when they haven't had 3, 4, 5 hard wars of long rounds with qualified opponents, you can't be too quick to make these guys idols and heroes. Now, Conor McGregor deserves everything he's getting, and I'm happy for him. I hope every fighter benefits from his hype. It's nothing but good. I'm with you guys. However, just be careful with making this guy too big, because, well, that 13-second punch, he could have been on the other end of it. That's the fight game. And, I find the fans are way too quick to drop on someone the minute that they've lost. It's, there was a lot of American Aldo fans before he lost, and I'm willing to bet you there's a lot less now. Bandwagon fans, just be careful. Conor McGregor's for real, but let's not ruin what's a good thing. Okay, so that leads me to what's going on in the Fight City this week. Obviously on thefightcity.com, if you check us out, we got daily posts, great articles, pictures, video, everything you can think of if you're a fight fan. It is by far the best Anglo fight site in Quebec. This week we will have a piece on the Ortiz versus Jennings fight. We will have another Crow Speaks segment with David Loiseau, and obviously plenty more. Make sure to check us out. One more thing, if you guys like the t-shirt, go ahead and hit me up or check out the site. You can order one now. Last but not least, people, just a quick mention. If you're interested, if you need video or images of your training or sparring, something to keep your sponsors happy, something for you to go back and, watch and try and figure out what you did wrong in sparring, I'm your man. Go ahead and give me a call. If you're pro or amateur, I'm more than happy to show up at your gym and get that done for you. Go ahead and hit me up, either at the Fight City or at Manny Montreal. So that leads me to what we got going on this week and what we can watch, what we can go see. There's plenty of stuff for us to talk about, so let me get started. First off, on what we can watch this week, Friday, December 18th on Spike TV, PBC, and Mayweather Productions present Rance's Kid Blast Barthélemy versus Denis Shafikov. It's a terrific fight. This kid's 23-0. Perfect thing to do on Friday night. If you're not going to be watching Spike, however, you can go over to the Fight Network and check out World Series of Fighting 26. It's going down live and free on the Fight Network. Now, that leads me to Saturday night, or Saturday day, that is, December 19th at 3 p.m. on the Fight Network. We've got Enfusion 35. Then at 4 p.m. live from England on Showtime, we've got the Andy Lee versus Billy Joe Saunders fight. Then a little later on that night on HBO live and free, we've got one hell of a boxing card. Hbo Boxing, a terrific night of fights from them. We've got Yuri Boy Gamboa on there. We've got Demetrius Ballard, Yuneski Gonzalez, Claudia versus Rosado, Nicholas Walters versus Jason Sosa. Jason Sosa's 18-1. That is no walk for Nicholas Walters. Last but not least, Brian Bye-Bye Jennings versus Luis King Kong Ortiz. Terrific heavyweight fight, live and free on HBO. Last but not least, on Fox, UFC Fox 17's going down. Quick mentions, Randa Marcos, now training out of TriStar. Terrific female MMA fighter. Make sure you check her out. She's opening the show. Michael Johnson versus Nate Diaz. That is a fight for the ages. If you like MMA, that's your fight. Then you got Dos Santos versus Overeem. And last but not least, Dos Anjos versus Donald Cowboy Cerrone. Now, this fight's going to have a little bit more heat on it. That's thanks to the whole Conor Mac, Mystic Mac stuff. Cowboy Cerrone fighting for the strap versus Dos Anjos. It's free and live on Fox. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me this week. Remember, if you want a t-shirt, hit me up. If you want to film or photograph your sparring or training, hit me up. Make sure to check out the Fight City. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next week.
Do you remember?